Hello and welcome back to After the Movies, the show where we talk about movies after you've seen them. I am Luke, and with me is
Jonathan.
and we're here to talk about the movie Starbuck, which is a movie you probably have never heard of. In fact, when I showed it, people were like, "What's this? Coffee?"
In fact, you showed me, and I was like, Starbuck. That's that Battlestar Galactica character, and I don't really like her as a character all that much.
Yeah,
You can hang on me if you want to, but
yeah, not
nothing
my
great.
favorite either. But really, no, not Battlestar Galactica. In fact, this is a French-Canadian movie about a guy who inadvertently fathers 533 children by being a massive sperm donor and a mix-up therein. And he's also a loser at the start of the movie. And this film starts with probably one of the most potentially awkward scenes that you've ever seen. In fact, you push play and then you're like,
You ever watch somebody masturbate?
I,
That's what the first scene is. The
yeah.
first scene is watching somebody masturbate.
I mean, that's not really my, yeah, okay, so
I'm just saying.
yeah, yeah,
That's what it is.
and so like the movie starts, and you're like, what is
Yep.
and then there's a moment that's funny, and at that moment I was like, I'm sold. And so I was watching this thing, and I was like, this is my style of humor. I'm gonna enjoy this movie, and it turned out for me to be one of the most pro-family, pro-adoption, pro-children, like pro-take responsibility type movies like I've ever seen. And I was like, this is so quality. Like it was just great. So for me, I was just like, this is a great movie. Just so many positive messages, and it's funny, and we have character growth, and everybody wants good things. I mean, like it's just for me solid.
I do think it was a really good movie. I was really impacted by the movie, but at the same time, it takes a little while to get there, and that's a good thing too. It's not just going to start off the bat like obviously you've got this this masturbation sperm donation scene, which is kind of awkward. And it does have some humor to it, but you're kind of like, oh, okay. And having seen a lot of films, having gone through film school and watched a lot of movies that do like you have no idea what they are. There's some sort of foreign film. Your teacher's like, watch this. They put it on, and things like that happen. Like it's like that, or more awkward, or violent, or something, right? And you're like, okay, so where's this going? And usually, a lot of those movies go really dark and never come back, or go
Mm-hmm.
really, really wrong, or it's just like, and then after that, he decided to, cut his junk off, or something really horrible and strange. You're like, wow, that's just, why would I go through this?
And that's in movies like that.
That's
That's in oh
that's a
yeah,
thing. That's
yeah.
a thing.
Mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
so Luke's like showing us. And I have a lot of. I mean, I trust Luke a lot more than I do my film school teachers who showed us stuff like that, right?
Yeah, film school teachers not to be trusted.
But as, but as soon as the film came on, and that was the first scene, all I could think was, this is a foreign language film,
Mm-hmm.
French Canadian. This dude's like masturbating is the first thing. There's a little bit of humor. It's a little bit of dark humor. So there's, it's kind of entertaining, but like my artsy senses, if you will, were like heightened. I was like, okay, what's gonna happen? What's gonna be like the artsy stuff of him like moody and brooding about life, and when is everything just gonna go dark? And I kind of was waiting for that. And in fact, as we realized, a lot of the audience was waiting for it to go really dark. Everyone was kind of watching and waiting for the moment when things were just going to go horribly wrong. When the story was going to take a turn for the pitch dark, when something sad was going to happen, when something really horrible, excuse me, was going to happen.
And they give you opportunities
Oh
for that
yes,
to happen. Like the ambulance shows up, and you're like, oh
is someone
no,
yeah who's dead? Like who's
right?
who's down? Or you're waiting for you're waiting for just not only secrets to be revealed, but like to be revealed in the worst way possible,
Mm-hmm.
for people to turn on each other, for relationships to be ruined, for his own family to turn against him because he is a loser. Like he keeps on, he's the screw up, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's the screw up of the family. That's clearly established. And he's in with the mob. It's like, is the mob going to kill him? Is the mob going to kill his father?
Yep.
All these other questions are kind of brought up constantly. Um, and to my joy, the movie does not do that. The movie does not go pitch dark. But it does deal with some darker things, but it deals with them like sort of humorously, but kind of a this is life for this guy. This is some of the dark things he's dealing with, and then you get to watch him kind of find beauty in those things or get through that, And that's the other thing. The people around him also are interested in finding a beauty or a good thing out of the problems that have been created rather than looking for the darkness. And that's a filmmaker thing too, right? See, that's the thing. The filmmakers, the writers, the people who made this movie are clearly interested in finding good light things in the
Mm-hmm.
midst of dark things. That is
Yes.
clearly what they're looking for. And that is very refreshing and very good to see. Now, there is still a filmmaker cynical side of me that can look and say like, well, it's too easy, right? Like he gets out of things a little too easy here and there. Like there are times where like all these kids, all of them that want to know him, right, are all embracing of him by the time we
Right.
finally get there, and it's like, oh, he sees them and they all join him at the hospital. They're all laughing. They're all happy. Everything goes well. And there's a cynical side of me that goes, well, life isn't really like that. There's always going to be somebody who says, screw you, old man. Now that I know who you are, I want to ruin your life. And that's kind of what I was waiting for in the movie. Is, where's the guy who wants to ruin his life? Where's the part where his dad gets visited by the mob and they kill him? Or he has a heart attack because it's so sudden and he dies inadvertently, right? Like, where's the dark moment? So I'm waiting for that, and there's a cynical side of me that kind of thinks that should be a part of things sometimes, because sometimes you think life is that way. Sometimes you feel that way. On the other hand, the movie doesn't go there, and I'm actually very, very, like I've already said, it brings me joy, but it's a very, very good thing. In fact, it's one of the most important things a filmmaker can do in a lot of ways. It's not, stories can go a lot of different directions. They can be morality tales that are dark and depressing, and they can also be uplifting stories of hope. And this is an uplifting story of hope. And that's the thing. Those kind of stories don't happen very often. And if they do, they're very kind of, I love action movies, but they're often really out of nowhere. It's expected to be a happy ending, even though like someone went and killed like 30 people at the end of the movie. Like it's this total thing where just, oh, and by the way, it happens to be a very happy ending. And it's usually happiness, and that's the other thing. Happy ending defined how? Like happy ending as James Bond gets to F the next girl he sees. Like, is that really a happy ending? That's really just kind of gross when you actually think about that.
Right.
Whereas this is a movie that deals with human life issues and comes on the other side of it and says, there's darkness, there's things, and this guy he's a screw up, all this stuff. But look at how there was beauty. Look at how there's redemption. Look at how how family can overcome these things. Look at how his family, both his immediate brothers and father and stuff, embrace him even though he is the screw up. And like they give him crap all the time, but they love him. That's the thing. Like they love him. And when push comes to shove, what does his dad do? The mob came and visited me, and you're in trouble. And you know what I decided to do? I decided to give you your inheritance early. Hint, hint. Prodigal son came to mind.
Right.
Right. Like. Right. And then the all the kids. Right. He goes and visits all the kids. That's the other thing. I love how this character, when he realizes he is a father, he automatically has a sense of responsibility, and his immediate desire is to go and to take care of his children that he's never met before. He wants to get to know. I mean, okay, granted, the immediate desire is I don't even want to know. I'm scared. I don't want to get near it. That's the immediate desire.
And then it takes one of his sons being a pro football or soccer player to be like, okay, this is actually pretty sweet. Like, who else are my amazing kids? And that, like, seeing that, like, I'm so proud of my kids, and I care so much for my kids, and I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt, even though they're druggies, even though they're disabled, even though like this movie hammers like every single possible, like, no, he's a terrible, my son is a terrible actor, but I'm still gonna like root for, like, there's so much good to be seen in this. So okay, sorry, cut you off there.
No, and that's the thing. There's a lot of moments in this movie, and he doesn't want the credit. He doesn't want to be known. He's scared he's gonna be disappointment. He's also, it's just this huge legal battle. It's intimidating, all this other stuff. So he takes the approach of just going and finding them and trying to be like their guardian angel, or trying to help them out in different ways. And it's interesting to see him kind of be a father without them knowing he's their father. There's a really nice allegory in that too, where people who are lost, and someone's looking out for them regardless of whether or not they are even aware of it, because someone loves them, someone's looking out for them, someone's their father and claims them, is a really, really beautiful thing. And it will tug at your heartstrings. Everybody in there, no matter what their belief system is, their strings were, their heart was into it, because you can't ignore the kind of these universal truths in life, where that's the kind of stuff we all long for. We all want a father who does that. We all want to be claimed and be taken care of. And that's a beautiful thing that the movie does extremely well. So this movie was actually quite excellent, and it's done well. The filmmaking craft is done well. There's a few things where I'm like, that red's really pulled out maybe a little too far, like oversaturated. Like if I was looking at the screen in any room, I'd be like, you should tone that down a bit, just because
I think great color, whatever.
Red is a great color. I got nothing against red. It's when you pull it out to the point where things are distorting that I have issues. But that's the thing, nitpicks. Overall, the content of this story, what this story is about, the pro family, the pro-life, the pro like just hey. And I love that it is such a huge family, and the idea, and like people. That's the other thing I loved was people in the audience realizing what a big family looks like, and how like
Mm-hmm.
that kid's not gonna have any problems because he's gonna have so many brothers and sisters. It's not even gonna be a problem. Look at
Yep.
them be an army, basically. Look at them take care of each other. Look how awesome that would be. And it's like, yeah,
That
and you
would be
can
good. Yep.
and you can do that, and that is a real possibility in life. Even if you're the only child, or you're one of, you can have adopted family. You can become a community. That's what
Yep.
community is about. And having a big family is a wonderful thing. Having many kids is a wonderful thing. It's a good thing. It's not as it's often portrayed, a horrendous time. And that's the other thing. They don't kid around either. They have the friend who has the multiple kids, who's like getting slapped on the face. He's like, "You want this? You want this?
This looks normal to you?
This is horrible."
Yeah, this looks normal. It's beautiful. It's a great thing, Like, what are you doing? My kids don't even listen to me. And yet even he has this moment of experiencing it's so good to be part of this family. So I don't know, just so many positive elements. And so to have a movie that takes you from like the opening scene where people like turned around, they're like, "What are you showing me?"
Yeah.
To in the end where everybody's like, "Oh man, the feels, they're like killing me," like I'm just like, oh, and then to have everybody like be like, "We didn't have a group hug now," like there's something so positive about that. So,
and that's one of the things I will say too is there's something universal about it, just because, again, everybody in that room was, and this is a group of maybe 10, 15 people, right? Very like all over the map, different kinds of people in our culture, and I would say our culture is often very. You could make the argument anti-family. Certainly not thinking that having many kids is a good thing. Not thinking having a big family is a good thing. Very much about being yourself, taking care of yourself, all that kind of stuff. And then you get to this movie where it's just in a way countercultural to that idea in the extreme, and every single person from their wide ranges all at least recognized that was a good thing.
Yep.
That's the power of cinema, is whether or not they even recognize how perhaps fundamental and influential that is in maybe their life viewpoint. If they're even thinking about that, even if they go out and act differently, there's something that says to them when they watch that movie, wait, that's a good thing. It's a really good there. And that's it's a good movie. It's a beautiful movie. And that's one of the best things a movie can do is hit something that truthful. And no matter where you're at, you see it. That's a really good thing. So high praise for Starbuck. It's really surprising. You don't expect it. You got to give it at least 30 minutes. There's a lot of ups and downs, and him being a screw up being established for the first 30 minutes. And then after that, it really starts to get its pace and be something good. So
yeah, so Starbuck, a movie with gangsters, pot growing, screw ups, disabilities, thinking you're going to be a terrible parent, the messiness of kids, adoption, the problems of all this stuff, and loneliness and
drug overdose, crippled children.
Yep.
Masturbation, sexual abuse.
Yeah.
Like all these things show up.
That wrap up ultimately in a movie that is like, you know what? Life is good and beautiful because of the people that are in our lives. So I don't know. For me, that's a great movie. So yeah.
Good. Really good.
Thank you guys for watching After the Movies with us, and we will see you next time.
Bye-bye.